Big Brother is watching in an even bigger way. Big data is a technology taking over the digital retail industry, but in countries like China, it's a form of control and fear-based tactics. Vili Abraham with more on this topic, which is something we haven't heard a lot about, but obviously it's important. So what is big data?
Yeah, and it's really an emerging technology. So first of all, it has gained momentum in the 2000s, and we're actually talking about large amounts of data that are generated through different applications and sources. So, for example, some of the sources that we have, we can conduct Google searches. So, for example, today doctors, if a lot of people Google flu, how do I prevent flu, what can I take against flu, then they know that there is an outbreak that is about to occur, so they can prevent this. For example, social networks. So every time we post a picture or a clip, this is used in order to find more suitable advertisers for us, okay? Apps like Waze and Spotify. When we use Waze, people know, or companies know where we are. And, you know, sometimes when you use Waze, there's a pop-up of a gasoline station where you can buy something. So that's based on
so
big data.
Okay, it is a positive thing, but it's also like, do you want people to know where you are all the time?
Well, but look, there are sensors in-store purchases. For example, if you look at Amazon Go, okay, there are a lot of cameras and sensors. So Amazon knows exactly what you're buying and when you're buying what you prefer. Smart homes, voice assistants. If we look at Siri and Amazon Echo Dot, okay, because you're giving voice commands and it knows what you want. Connected cars, I'm talking about autonomous vehicles in the future. Facial recognition, even health wearables like the smart Apple Watch. So that's also something.
So is this good for, you know, in general, we're talking about these things. How is them having all this data good for us? Just other than we don't have to dig as much to find, you know, now they just know how to target us with like-minded advertising and whatnot?
Okay, so big data analysis enables a few things or a few functions, and in certain ways it benefits only the companies, but in certain ways it benefits us consumers as well. For example, for companies, it can reduce cost. For example, UPS was able to save millions by using crowdsourced data that comes from other drivers, and this way was able to find shorter routes. Save time, new product development based on our needs, smart decision making, and routes. If you look at buses are able to come more frequently or know where to go based on where people are crowded based on this information. So we benefit from that.
All right, so now who is, you know, there are certain countries where this could really be used against them in a way.
Yeah, well, China, if you look at a specific province, it has been using big data in order to spy on the local population in order to avoid, you know, dissent, for example. So there are cameras, CCTV cameras, every 100 or 200 meters. And this camera, first of all, takes a picture of your face when you're in your car. It takes a picture of your license plate. And it has a lot of information about you, more than you would like the government to know. For example, it knows your name, your sex, your occupation, your relatives' details, fingerprints, blood type, DNA information. There's so much information that it can know, and this could be a serious issue. So that's why we have to make sure that people, not everybody has access to this information, and if they have access, it should be for a limited time. And by the way, if you heard of...
There is no way to regulate, you know, countries like China. Like,
well, no, because it's a dictatorship. But if you, for example, if you look at the GDPR, which is General Data Protection Regulation that came into effect last month in Europe and here in Israel, so this is meant to deal with big data that is generated. So consumers have to know what information is gathered about them, and if they wish, it can be deleted. And by the way, there are a lot of industries where this is being used. Okay, so just one example. For example, the banking industry, they can prevent fraudulent behavior in advance. For example, me a few months ago, I got a telephone call telling me, you know, we're canceling your card because somebody in Texas used your card to fuel their car.
So to be prevented, there you go. Well, thank you very much, Vili.
It was a pleasure.